Hi everyone, my name is Renee Lee and Lim.
And I'm Rajiv Verma.
He sounds like a newsreader today.
Yeah. But I'm not Rajiv Verma, I'm Jeeves Verma.
And I'm Nay Lim.
And together we're first generation Australian Asian creatives.
Trying to be creative.
And Australian and Asian.
So, this week I was Asian.
I sure hope so.
So, I went to the art gallery with some of my Asian family.
Yep.
Anyway, there was this photography exhibition. I would say, so as Asian people, we can be quite harsh about like how much skill goes in. I mean, you look at calligraphy and all these sorts of things. Like there can be like some real skill in the work that we do. Like hard work is a sign of good work. So to be fair, photography is kind of like, that's all you actually have to do.
There are about 1,000 photographers at the moment who are straight to the comments.
I know, right?
Comment below if you disagree.
Because I disagree too. But I was with some family and we were walking through this photography exhibition.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh yeah. Like they were just like, it's a photo of an animal.
It's
right? So they're kind of just like discounting all of this stuff. Anyway, it was the moment we got to this photo and it was of a red lantern. It was clearly Chinese New Year. There was a kind of a dragon in the background. And all of a sudden, my family member turns around and says, oh, now that is a very, very, very good photo. That took a lot of work. And I was like...
Because?
What?
Why this one?
And she, no, this is very good quality. Very good quality photo. And I walked away from that going like, how on earth did, like, I couldn't work, I didn't want to ask because that was a whole conversation you really couldn't have. And so the topic I want to talk about today is, and it's not just... Because to be fair, I also then was like, oh, but how would I know if that isn't a better or a worse photo than any of the other ones creatively? So I was like, this is the question, standards.
Great.
Standards, both as an Asian person or as a cultural person or as someone who identifies a certain way, and also standards in the creative world.
That's so funny.
Oh my God. Because I'll be the first to own this. When I see something that has been made by a friend or... that like has some relationship to something that I care about, or sometimes is done by an Asian person, I feel like if I'm being really objective, I am so subjective about it. And I'm like, oh, that's really good.
Oh,
you know,
but
like,
do you mean that?
I think that subconsciously at some level I give it a bit more leeway, and I think it's probably better quality than I might have if it had just been, if I hadn't known or I hadn't kind of connected it to me. And I don't know if it's true, but I do think I am very lenient on the things like I like. And so my standards drop significantly.
Yeah.
But I still think it's good. So I'm like, so how do you define standards?
Oh, man. That is... this is a very tough question. Especially in the creative world.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Effort.
Oh, man.
Okay. Can I go with my factors and then while you think about it? So
okay.
Some of the factors that go into standards. So Asian culture, amazing. Looks amazing, right? Number one.
I agree.
Like visually amazing. And I mean like, as in like, it can be written, but it has to sound amazing. Like whatever it is, like it has to be amazing on receiving.
That's right.
That's first of all.
And that will directly translate into dollar amount.
Yeah, value. That's right. Second one is how much did you get paid for it? Tells you how good quality it is, like the standard. The third is how much do other people want it?
Yeah.
Like this is really good quality if everyone else likes it.
This is, we're delving into NFT conversation here. We'll come to that. I think that we'll pin that.
Okay.
Keep going.
The fourth one I have is effort and hard work. And effort and hard work are two different things.
Yeah.
So effort is how much someone put into it. But then hard work is, was it difficult to do? Like, could everyone do this or could only like 3 people in the world do this?
Right.
And I think they're all factors. So as an Asian person, if only 3 people in the world could do this and they spent 17 hours on it and everyone else in the room is saying, this is amazing, and someone paid thousands of dollars and it's not ugly, I'd say that's a great standard.
Gold standard.
High quality. Even if I was like, I have no idea what this is and I don't even like it.
Yeah.
I'd still say it was like best quality.
Oh man, which is I think this is probably the most triggering. I don't know why I'm feeling like how do I tell the world I don't have standards? I'm just it's taken ages for me to sort of break away from, because this is why I'm actually very supportive of the arts, and I don't hold any. I like supporting people who are doing it because they love it, because they believe. Yeah. And so I've been able to put standards aside, because I myself, I'm coming from someone as well who has put out a lot of shit stuff to the public for years and years and years. I am talking as someone who has a questionable level of standards himself. So maybe, but I do appreciate good standards. But okay. Oh man, this is just my brain is kind of like, I have no coherent thought right now.
Because I think being an Asian, you automatically get kind of taught those standards, right, that I just described. And as an Asian child, you grow up every day, you're trying to meet, like, whether it's how did I brush my teeth versus how did I make my bed? How did I go at school? How did I do and the after school music or dance class that I was in? Was I the coolest person at the party? Like, you are measuring yourself by standards all the, like, how do I wash the dishes? I used to get in trouble for the quality of my dishwashing after dinner.
But I kind of agree with that though. Like, wash them well. Clean them. Like, it's got to be clean.
I did, but like, it wasn't, Anyway, we won't go there. Thanks, man. Throw me under the bus. But you spend so much of your life in the standards land. So there's two options, right?
Yeah.
And this is probably where you got to. So I went, just get to the standards. And I was lucky, right? There were some things I managed to do well. So I ticked the box for standards. And so for me, standards are a given. I personally have to do things really, really well.
Yeah.
Right? But the flip side version is these standards are ludicrous, which they are. And they are... Actually, they overtake your capacity for experiencing life.
Yeah. So
you don't experience the stuff that you're going through. Yes. And so what you do is you go, you know what? No standards. Bugger the standards, because there's nothing, you can't have standards that are like half standards. There's no such thing. Like, the standard is here. This is a line. There is a standard, and you're either below it or you're above it. And that's the problem with that concept.
It's taken me years to get rid of this concept. I was raised with the same idea that, and as a matter of fact, standards were easily quantified by saying it's either 100% or it's not 100%. So
but based on those Asian parameters.
Yeah. So you're either first in class or you weren't or you weren't first in class. Those were the two. That was the two things. And so if you knew you weren't first in class,
doesn't matter.
Don't tell your parents about your grade. So there was that standard, the academic standard as well, but that also spilled over into everything else. The way you dressed, the way you held yourself.
How other people thought about you.
Exactly. Yeah. My mum always brought up this one kid from the Indian community. If he won't listen to this.
I was just about to say, let's not name any names.
No, but he was the gold standard guy. Okay. He was the gold standard. It's like, mum always brought up his name. It's like, I'll say I don't care. It's like, Rahul wouldn't do this. It's like, fuck you, Rahul. What does Rahul know about anything? But he was the grade A student. He was the one who got 100 in the HSC. So which is like so much, like there's so much on his resume that said to my parents, that's the standard.
Did you like him as a person?
Oh, we got along as friends. Yeah.
Like, that's the funny thing, right? The standard is actually probably not... He didn't impose it on himself, per se. It's like someone else created the standard. He happened to meet it. Doesn't make him a bad person or a good person.
No. I had nothing against Rahul.
Yeah.
I had everything against what my mum thought of him.
In relation to the standards.
Yeah.
So you turned around, tried to fulfill those standards, and decided you didn't like the way they were being measured.
It took me ages to realise that that's how I live my life. Like, there is a standard. If I meet it, great. I'm happy to tell people about it. Now I'm doing this work. If I meet the standard, great. I will at work, as in my day job, reach this standard. Which, you know what, is not always a bad thing. I'm saying it like, I've kind of gone against the grain, I've thrown it out the window. I like that I do have standards about something.
But that's the thing, though. I was going to say, isn't it just that you've changed the parameters of your standards? I don't think it's that you don't have, because you are an incredibly professional, incredibly effective human.
Thank you. That's a quote.
Rahul, did you hear that?
Yeah, you.
But this is the thing, right? And this is what made me realize is like, the standards are completely personal. Then somehow we convince ourselves they're like universal, but they're not. Yeah. And so you just have different and probably, to be honest, more consistent with a Western culture standards and especially creative standards. Yeah. Which is taking chances. Asian people, we never take chances. Yeah. If you can't do it well, don't do it at all, right?
So, yeah. So on this point is I feel like the standards that I was raised with, as a creative, that affects you because it says, oh, if it's not going to be up to that standard, then don't put it out there. As a result, I don't create as much as I look at my social media. There's nothing on it.
Well, no, but now it's good because we're doing a podcast.
Anyway. But I've always stopped myself, like, if I feel like I can't reach my own standard, I'm not even going to bother with the effort to even make anything or release anything that's this level, because...
But what is it? And this is the problem, because then we're Asian people who had like really traditional, very clearly defined standards. You're either 100% or nothing. And then we went into the creative land where what are the standards? There is no definition of standard. And it's like, it literally is like, not like someone pulled the rug out from under you. It's like they just removed the whole house. Yeah. And you were just floating in midair. Yeah. And you're like, where am I? What do I do? Because how do you, when you say, oh, I didn't meet the standard for like putting something out, how do you even know what that is?
No, you don't. You don't. After a while, you're like, oh, this is just a thing that's happening in here. And the right thing to do is just to not even, you shouldn't be thinking about a standard the whole time.
Well, no, you are. It's just, I'm going to push you on this. Because I think it's just your standard.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
It's an internal standard.
That shouldn't be the drive to do it. The drive to do it should be because you have a message to say, or...
That's the standard, though. Like, that's just a different focus.
So to...
Okay, so let me give you an example. Yeah. You talked about your social media. So before, your social media was a means to an end. Yeah. I have the social media, I should be putting things on it, they should be amazing quality, and I should blah, blah, blah. Now you're like, I just want to put things on social media. That's my new standard, is that I put something on social media every day or two because I'm somebody who's regularly engaging with my content. That's my standard now.
Got you. So to shift the focus of the standard to a whole new whole new metric.
Because the problem is, otherwise, and that's what you said early on, and it's just not true. But you tell yourself, oh yeah, I don't have standards anymore. And all of a sudden, you kind of judge yourself a bit. Because you say it out loud and then you go, yeah, I don't have standards. Oh,
no.
Of course you have standards. And the problem when you're somebody that comes from this version of standards is if you take them away, you start to judge yourself and think you're lesser. Which is the whole point of the standards in the first place that you got rid of.
You're 100% right. I have so many standards. But this is where a lot of my comedy comes in because, I can easily be angry about a lot of stuff. And that's what is comedy. That comedy is actually, maybe that's what comedy is this whole time, is just
being angry.
Just measuring, being angry at various people's standards. Can we go back to one thing? There's one thing that I feel like my standards, I'm so glad I was raised the way that I was raised, because I feel like I got this from my parents, is just your ability to talk to strangers.
Oh yeah, you mentioned this a little bit.
Yeah, I think kids these days just don't know how to talk to strangers anymore. Have you noticed how children, like, they'll...
Or is it just that you're getting old and actually the old people didn't like talking to you either? I'm kidding.
Okay. So,
what has it got to do with standards?
I think there should be, if there's one thing schools should teach, it's how to talk to people.
Communication.
Just communication, politeness, societal politeness, whatever. This sort of relates to respect, which we've talked about briefly before, and
or not, depending on what. Or not,
maybe that's.
You should go and find the Respect podcast.
These days, kids just sort of blurt out stuff and hope it hits someone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so there's a social respect standard that everyone should have,
Yeah.
and it feels like that's not being taught
Yeah.
nowadays. So there's no standards. Like you get and this is the flip side, right?
Yeah.
This is what I guess I'm thinking, because when you're an Asian child, the standards are inflicted upon you from outside, and they are very clear. And we chose the creative industry, and I suppose you could argue younger generations of people are probably being brought up in a similar way to how creatives work, which is there are no rules. There is no specific thing that is considered the right or the wrong. Find yourself, find your own standards. And the problem with that is there are billions of people in this world, and they now do communicate via social media, which means there's no buffer, there's no filter, and there's no point where you try something and it didn't work and you go, oh, let me rethink that standard and see if I can reset it before it's gone out into the world and thousands of people have commented on it.
Yeah.
And so people stop listening to the other person. They stop taking feedback to create a standard.
Yeah.
So a standard becomes purely internal. And that's the other extreme.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's healthy either, because actually your standards probably should be reflective of the social community to the extent that they also respect you.
Which is why I'm going to create a work. At the moment in my head, it's a series.
Mm-hmm.
They're just my standards that I think accurately reflect societal standards. And that should be the rule book. Am I going to call it a Bible? No, it's not a religious text. But if you want to treat it as a religious text, it's a.
It's a Jeevable.
Yeah. Jesus.
Jeevable.
Jesus Christ.
Jeevus bull.
Yeah, I'm going to write the rules. I'm going to write the rules for society. Do you remember, like in those old days, it's like a lady must always sit. Her skirt must be always thing, and she must always curtsy in the presence of a man. But for this time and for all of us, and that'll be what's one of them? How to shake hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's appropriate, you don't always have to shake hands. That's the one. That's number one. Number two, when a handshake is required, there is a way. There's
only one way.
Oh, there's several ways, but there's a gold standard way.
Which is what?
How do you shake hands? Yeah, not bad. I feel like I've done this with Antonio as well in my other podcast. I think number one is these two have to kiss, right? Okay. And then you hold each other. That says, "I recognize you."
I recognize you.
Yeah, in that Southern American drawl. Yes, like that. So that firmness of the grip, not to say like I'm overpowering, like something too hard just says, yeah, I'm trying to just throw my dick around, but something that says yes, and that's not this.
Not shaking.
Yeah, it's just that sort of thing that's like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, right. So if someone doesn't do that, you say that they have failed your standard.
Yep, here's a terrible handshake.
Oh, yeah.
Try and shake my hand normally. You know, this one that's like, oh, I don't know what this is. Yes, I don't know what this is.
And you would judge someone for that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I corrected them. That's a terrible handshake. Let's go through the Jeeves Vermeer's steps for a correct handshake. And I enjoy that too.
So this is interesting, because this segues into the whole kind of like artistic component, creative component of standards. Yeah. So a handshake might be a perfect example, or a dance routine, or an artwork. So this is where I'm getting to, is that your standards are biased by your conscious and subconscious preferences and experiences.
Sure. Yeah.
So if somebody has been really scared off by someone shaking their hand really strongly and you freak them out, they don't have the same standard as you for the handshake, and you would judge them for that. But they also judge you.
I think a part of the handshake is to also read the other person. So if they were flinchy, I wouldn't be so aggressive with the handshake.
Right.
But
then it's not the handshake that is the standard, it's the reading of the person and what they need.
No, I think that's a part of it. I think that's that handshake.
No,
even
100% is 100% and 98% is nothing.
No. This is not quantifiable. This is like a handshake is.
But then can you create a standard for something that is not quantifiable?
Yes, because we're talking about standards in art.
That's what I'm saying. Can you have a standard of art?
I think if it's not quantifiable, then it's qualifiable. Qualifiable? Yeah. Is that it?
You can give it a meaning. Yeah. But people have people will say that was a terrible play. That was this. People will make judgment calls on the standard of a creative piece of work.
Yeah. That's why critics exist. Yeah.
But Is that possible?
So I think that's why people don't take critics' word as gospel, because it's one person's standard.
Well, what are they defining the standard by, do you think?
It could. So here's the thing. I think as a critic, because I critique people's work all the time, and for me it is based on everything that I have seen.
Yeah, right.
Everything I have seen, and in the time that I am now seeing this, because if I see a same piece of work at a way later time, my critique of it will 100% change, and then I'll often think back to that first time I critiqued them, and maybe I'll either acknowledge that I was wrong, or no, I couldn't have been wrong in that time, because that's just my opinion at that time. But I can see how my vision of my perspective has changed over that time, and how that artwork has changed over time as well. So, can art be critiqued? Quantifiably, no. Qualifiably, yes.
So really, that's just a internal kind of perspective based on my context put onto your work.
So see how there's so many variables.
And this is the thing, right? So it's very hard to make standards.
Yeah. Do you know my first insight into standards in art? I remember as a child thinking this was Lunig.
Oh yes, I love Lunig.
Okay, so I didn't as a child.
Because you wouldn't have understood it.
No, I didn't, because I loved drawing, and I had a standard for drawing.
Very good at it.
Lunig was one of those artists. Okay, so as a drawer and a cartoonist, I knew what a human figure should look like. Suddenly, Lunig comes in with these really shitty drawn. And if you still look at them, they're not clean, crisp lines.
No, they're not meant to be.
Yeah. Well, but as a kid, I wasn't looking at this going like, oh, it's not meant to be, right? I just saw this. I'm like, who's giving this guy jobs? He can't even draw. But at least it's consistent. I was like, at least he does the same shit drawings all the time. So I can respect that.
Yeah, right.
So in my head, he was some just lunatic who someone was like, oh, let's make him famous.
Let's put him in the newspaper all the time, and just publish him regularly, and then make books that they sell in art galleries, because he's so amazing.
And the message behind these artworks are accidentally gorgeous, but he still can't draw. It's
taken him a while.
It's taken me, obviously. So that was my first insight into what is standards in art. Yeah. Obviously, Lunig, he's a genius.
And I think that's the thing I love about art, right? And this is where, being from an Asian culture, it's really hard. So in Asian culture, as we said, it's 100% or you're zero. Like, it's basically 0 to 99 doesn't count. So you've got this whole sort of like section of living that doesn't count. And in the creative arts, I think that's what I think is so cool about anything that you create has so many different components to it. So the standard in one context might be low, but in another context might be super high. And depending on the person will change, which is awesome in the sense that anybody who wants to be your creative should be, but also somebody will love what they do because they will love what they do for whatever reason.
Yeah.
In some way.
That's right.
It was the first thing I did. It was the best one I did. Yeah. It was the one I worked the hardest on. It's the one that reminded me of my mum. Like, whatever it is, it has a very high standard in one way, and it might not in others. And I wonder why we as creatives, which, to be honest, we as Asian, first, generation Australian Asians as well, take one other person's momentary standard assessment of us and go, oh my God, I don't exist.
Yeah.
It is incredible how we do that. And I don't know if it's because, I always say it's because I'm an Asian person, I take it really personally. But I don't think it is it? Well, I don't know. I think some creatives are really robust about these things.
About other people's critique, I mean, look, when I get a critique, I will take on board. Sometimes I feel like critique should be taken, like, take it or leave it. If it's something that you're like, yes, I understand what you've said about me, and you are right, or you may well be like, no, that person has no idea what I'm on about, so ditch it. I have read reviews of my own work. I'm like, spot on. So fair enough. And I can only learn from that, you know. To be insulted by someone's critique is futile, I think.
See, let
it affect you, but you can't. Like, it is just one person's idea of your work in that one time,
and from probably a singular or at least a very small perspective.
Yeah,
because they'll be looking at your work through whatever lens of expertise they have to measure you by, which may not be the lens that you were using at the time.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I've had people critique me who have had the best critique of me, but I also know, and obviously those are the quotes that you've read, if you have read any at all. But I also know that still holds the same weight as the bad ones as well, because, you know, it's one person at one single time. Also, it's the same show maybe, so it was a different moment in time. There's so many things about it that, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what are the standards you hold yourself to now, do you think?
That's a good question. This is and it's questions like that have me believe like maybe no standards. It's not true. For me, it comes to, okay, I think the first and foremost, the standard is why, like, if the reason I'm doing it is for my own, is what I truly believe and what I truly stand for, and is the message that I want to say, and I'm not doing it for anyone else's reason, which is why I don't like social media. Social media doesn't really, like, when I say I'm doing social media, it's not because I want to do social media.
Yes, it's because it's part of the job.
Which is why I struggle with it so much, because it doesn't come from in here, you know? Social media content creators do it because they want to create content for social media, and that's their purpose.
They want the feedback, they want the insights, they want the relationship.
Because it's a necessary part of my job, I have to do it, so it's that part of the job where it's like, it feels like work.
So then your standard is you need to do whatever it takes to be good at doing your job.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hard work comment, right? That's the thing. I mean, hard work is never meant to be enjoyable. Like, if it's enjoyable, it's not hard work. It's just work.
Yeah.
So your standard is I will do the hard work to do my job
to be able to do what I would love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any other standards? Like, when you think about creating a piece of work, like creating a show, are there standards that you're like, these are things that I strive for?
Can I just do another thing on the hard work to do the job? One of the worst things about comedy is promoting your own work. Yes. So this is a great example. I love telling this story. Melbourne International Comedy Festival. No one knows me there because I'm from Sydney, and but you have a show in this festival that you need to sell tickets to. Otherwise, what's the point? You have to flyer your own show or hire flyers, but I don't trust the standards that I've seen that other flyers do. Because they're just handing out things, blah, blah, blah.
They're not engaged.
They're not engaging. They don't meet my standards for flyering.
They're not caring.
Oh, no,
They don't know about your story.
Yeah, because you've seen how people accept flyers and they throw them away.
Yeah.
I would flyer for 8 to 10 hours every day.
Yeah, wow.
Minimum talk to everyone. I had like 200 or 300 flyers a day that I had to get rid of. When I say get rid of, each of those flyers was a 2-minute conversation minimum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and more than half of those flyers, I didn't give them out. I was asked for.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so someone's like, "Oh, you're funny. You've made me laugh just now. What are you selling? Oh, this is my show. You want it? Take it."
Yeah, right.
So effective. So that was
So the standard there is like, it's about connecting. It's about getting them interested in you.
Yeah.
That's how you know you've reached the standard of flyering or marketing. Yeah, right. Okay.
I feel like with each year the standards change again, because it's nice to reflect and sort of readjust.
Do you have any standards in your work, like in your shows, that you go, this is something that's really important for me within the show as a standard?
Okay, so previously my standard was, especially for the last 7 or 8 years, was to write a new 1-hour show every year, and I did it.
I remember you said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's hard. It's really hard to come up with 60 minutes of stand-up material. The trade-off is how good that material is. By the time you get to that 1 hour is bleh. But originally that was my standard. like just to push out as much content
Just making sure you keep
make
working.
as much comedy as I can. Now I think I've gotten to a point where I've got 7 hours like material under my belt. Like now I'm at a stage where I'm like, okay, now let's concentrate on quality rather than quantity. Mm-hmm. And I'm at this stage right now is like, my standard is, well, now I need an online following.
Yeah, okay.
So
you're working to create that sort of online
the online thing, and then but also keep being funny. Like that's always good. Oh, that's fun to be fun. I choose to be fun. That's I think that's my baseline.
Mm-hmm.
If I do anything, I have to do it in a way, in a space where I'm choosing fun over.
And if you haven't,
then what's the point?
But have you never done something that wasn't fun?
Yeah.
And when that happens,
but then you still make that choice. You go like, I hate flyering. I hate promoting this. I hate emailing this person. I hate doing whatever, seeing sales numbers, whatever it is. I'm just gonna try and be fun about this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and this is what I'm getting at, right? Because in the end, standards, there are multiple standards and you never hit all of them.
No, yeah.
But it's like, your standard is I want to choose to do things that are fun, that I enjoy. One is I want to be funny.
Yep.
And one is I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. So I've realized that the hard working part was taking away from the fun. Like I wasn't feeling fun. And when you're in that space, I can't be funny.
Yeah, right.
I only realize I can only be funny when I'm in a fun place. It's funny how those two words are related. And if I remind myself to put myself in that fun space, then I'm just at least opening the doors to be funny.
Yeah, okay.
So.
You're right. Do you have a piece of advice that was either given to you about standards and how... I mean, you gave a great one before about, like, never take another person's review. Like,
yeah.
That was a good one. But have you ever received any good or bad advice regarding standards in terms of, like, your parents or the culture or creative people?
I feel like my parents got off my back about comedy. Because you've heard this, my parents used to say about the right path, about their standards about where my life should be. The right path was their definition of it. They got off my back about that when they could quantify my standards and my profession with a dollar figure. So as soon as they knew I was earning above a certain point.
So they're like, as long as you're earning this amount, you're reaching the standard. And you were like, thanks for that. Yeah, great. But actually, it's not even on my radar.
That didn't even factor on my standards at all.
But it's useful to know.
Yeah.
Right.
What about in your creative standards? Like, what are your...
My standards are really simple, and they kind of go across all of them, which is why they'll sound kind of like a bit vague, I think. I will only do things if I think they have a purpose.
Yeah.
But when I talk purpose, it's probably a little bit different to you. Like, my purpose is very much like I need to kind of know that somebody else's life is benefiting from this process in some way. Which is why I personally find acting very hard, because I'm like, I don't know if this is doing anyone any... So I've learned to tell myself that by bringing a character to life, I am like supporting and helping that character to exist in this world. That's how I perceive... That's how I make acting purposeful for me. Otherwise, I would potentially have a real issue with doing it.
It's funny because maybe you just need more feedback, because I reckon there'd be so many people, especially amongst people that we know, who see you doing your craft and are suddenly inspired.
Yeah, no one talks to me about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like, I don't get feedback.
I'm inspired.
No, thanks, darling.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely one of my standards. Is like I need to know. I need to know what the purpose of this is in terms of helping another person.
Well, if any time you have to question that, you just know that Jeeves is inspired every time you do your acting thing.
One of my other standards, I won't lie, is that I need to be truthful.
Yeah.
I'm very not good at... In fact, not even... I'm very good at lying. Let's be honest, I'm an actor. Very good at lying.
I think lies has got to be another topic.
Oh, God, lying.
Yeah, because, oh, man. That's opened some doors for me. Keep going about this truthful thing, though, yeah?
Yeah, so for me, a standard, I hold myself to very much. I'm always my goal is to be truthful.
I agree. Yeah.
And authentic.
Yeah.
So I do not like when I have to, other than when I'm acting, which is my job to do that I have to pretend to be something else or that I have to lie to somebody.
Yeah.
So that's for me a really big standard.
I think for me, this truthful thing is maybe only a relatively new thing. Only since I've only really began to accept myself for who I am. I used to do a lot of pretending, a lot of lying about who I was and who I had to be, and try and make myself, to my parents, there was like a whole thing, now I don't, all of that bullshit that I used to do in my younger years, I don't care for it. It's so much energy. I don't care for all of that energy and spending all of that. So now, for me, being truthful is the standard because it's easiest.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can call it a standard if it's easy.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a standard if you're striving for it.
Oh no, sometimes the truth is hard.
Yes, so that's different. Yeah,
okay, yeah. But
it's maybe you mean it's the best. It's the most useful, or it's the one that ends up being But yeah.
I don't care to juggle lies.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it probably still doesn't sound like it's a standard then. It's probably just something you've realised is the better option.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Whatever.
For me, it's a standard, like, where I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
I go out of my way to be authentic, to find ways to be authentic.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't just do it because it's easy, because often it's not, because a lot of my work
I don't go out of my way, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that's the standard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are the two really big ones that I would hold myself to. And probably being able to help to give to others. Like having enough money. So this is a standard that I'm the person that has the resources to help other people.
Yeah.
If I am not able to be there for someone else when they need me, whether it be like money or like a place to stay or time, I judge myself hysterically. Like
if you don't know Renee and you're like, that's a bit rich, it's no. That as prefaced by standard number 2, truth. That's very true. That's that last point. Yes. Oh God, yeah. I'm a receiver of some of these. Some of these.
But like it's not. And then one of the things about standards is one thing I've realized. A piece of advice someone said to me, and I remember this really. It was so useful. It was actually an Asian person. Who said standards don't always help you.
Oh.
And up until that point, I'd always been like, it's work towards the 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like standards can get in the way, and I have since learned that. But you know what? You own them, and you kind of, if they're really integral to you, you hold on to them, and that's what I've done. So that's kind of
So I think just to define what standards are again, because when you think about the word standards, I think people, in my head, imagine a scale.
Yeah. And it's like there's a certain point.
And there are notches on the scale, and you're either above or below whatever standard. But standards could just mean values.
Yeah, but it's like a quality of that value.
The quality of the value. Yeah, sure. So, yeah. It's like you value cleanliness, but...
Yes, but how clean do you have to be? Yeah. I think a core value, 100%, would be... you would have a standard for a core value.
Yeah.
But if you don't actually have, like, a standard for it, it's probably not a core value.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, of course I like to be clean. But if I'm not, it's not the end of the world.
You could say you value cleanliness when...
it's not a core value.
When, when, but also if it's like...
Yeah, don't do that in the rest of this house. Anyway, okay. So, standards, coming back to... I have been deciding whether to take my family, to the art gallery in Canberra, because I love that art gallery.
Yeah.
But I'm really scared they're going to get there and see blue poles and be like...
I could have done that.
It's a pot.
I say that about artwork all the time.
So there's a small part of me that's concerned about it. But anyway...
Do it. Take him.
You reckon?
Yeah. Have you been to the Chinese Museum in Melbourne?
No.
It's lovely.
Okay. But then they're going to love all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what, because it sounded like they loved that photo.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, well, I'll have to decide.
Yeah.
On that note,
go
stick to your standards.
Yeah, go take your family out.
Whatever else.